Hi, my friends. This is Jay, and this is Jay's Knit and Purl Jam. Tell me, did you miss me? Well, I missed you. How are you? Well, listen, everything is fine, just like you, trying to make it through this hot summer. I'm telling you. In fact, I have the fan on, so I'm going to project. I'm going to speak up a little bit, just so I don't have to turn the fan off. I'm sitting here by the window. I'm telling you. So, are you doing okay? Are you making it through? Are you glad the summer's over or about to be over? Are you glad the kids are back in school? Listen, we're going to get something that we're glad about tonight. Well, I'm telling you, I'm back, and I'm excited to be back. I missed you, I missed you, I missed you, I missed you. We need a group hug. And well, let me just tell you, Jay just had a little walkabout in her mind. I watch a lot of tennis, you know. So that's a little phrase I learned from watching tennis, because it's a phrase a lot of the Aussies use from Australia, the tennis players or the fans. When some of the players kind of go off their mindset or their game plan, they always say, the commentators will always say, well, there they go on a walkabout. So, you know, it's kind of like just kind of losing perspective, or going back to, you know, maybe not staying with the plan, or just off kilter. So Jay had a little walkabout in her mind. Not that I didn't have anything to make or want to make. It was just the thing of doing it. I'm telling you. I maybe because it's so hot, you know. And I don't know. I would start a project, then I'd stop. I'd start one, then I'd think of a new one. I'd start the new one, then I'd go back to the old one. But I finally just said, stop it. Stop it. Take a walkabout. Get up. Go back. Go back to what was the idea when you got on YouTube? To keep it simple. What was the mindset when you look back to when I came onto the YouTube? Just to relax and enjoy sharing and, you know, meeting new people. So sometimes we forget about how we began and the idea that we had. And so sometimes we need a little walkabout. So, yes, I have been busy, and I'm not going to take a lot of time on this intro, because I really want to get started on this project. After all I've gone through, those you know, all the heat and the knitting and unknitting and just scrapping stuff and starting over. I said, Jay, just settle down. You know, they realize, you know, sometimes you just need to take a break. And sometimes right in the middle of those breaks, you get some of the best creativity comes to your mind and to your heart and to your spirit than just sitting there wearing yourself out, looking through books, looking through patterns. Oh gosh. And hopefully, I feel that's what happened to me. So, like I said, this is Jay. This is Jay's Knit and Purl Jam, and I'm back. I'm going to be back with a vengeance. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I'm going to be back with gusto. I'm trying to build myself up. Well, since we're here, and I don't want to take a lot of time, after trying several projects, this is the one I finally got around to, because this is a project or stitch that I have, well, I started doing this stitch years ago. Of course, I can't remember what book I use or where I got the pattern, but it's a very common pattern. And, you know, like you say, if you just wait long enough, the same stitch will appear in other books and other books. Well, I remember when we bought this book. Remember I said I won't recommend, have you to buy something or tell you unless we're really going to use them. I use the books. All my stitches come out of stitch books. Most of them are just in public domain and simple stitches. But, it helps me to be creative. Just to see the natural stitch in its natural form, and then my mind can work, than trying to, do some other method. But I bought that book, and when I was looking through it after looking through other ones, I said, Jay, just keep it simple. And lo and behold, I saw the same stitch and I'll show you the sweater in the next segment of when I started using this stitch. In some kind of way, while using this stitch, I figured out a way to make it work or to benefit me in a special way. And that's what I want to share with you on this. This is Jay's Knit, a Walkabout lace shawl. Just when you can't think of anything else, just go back to your inner spirit, go back to your inner thoughts, take the journey to your roots, to the plan you had when you started. And that's what I did. And this is, really is Jay's Knit. I think it's a double lace, because I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful lace, but double it all in the same project. And I believe you're gonna love it. I believe you're really gonna enjoy this. It's fun, it's exciting, it's enough to keep you busy, and the best part about it, look. The best part about it, out of the same book, I took 2 separate stitches and put them together just for you. So what do you think of that? Is that pretty? What do you think? You think you're on board? You think you want to give this one a try? Well, I'm excited to share it with you. Let's see, can I get it back on? Ooh. And as you can see, it's really... This is something that I wanted to get started with, something that we can go ahead and you can start making now, so there's no rush. Just as soon as the holidays start, then everybody's in a rush, A lot of people did Christmas in July, which was a great idea. I didn't get a chance to do Christmas in July, but I'm starting now working on projects. Once we finish this, you can just put it aside, put it up for that special person, special gift, or for yourself. It'll be ready when the holidays come around. We'll be on ahead working on something else, because we'll already have this. So, I don't have anything else, just to let you know that I'm back. I've got this new stitch. Very simple, clean, easy. Takes a little patience, takes a little thought, but once you get it, you're going to get it. And you're going to love doing this double lace. And of course, I'm going to walk you through step by step. Well, without further ado, and just to let you know I missed you, and that, look, no time like the present to come together and let's work this new shawl. Let's get started. Okay, so I want to get right into Jay's Knit, a double lace walkabout shawl. A shawl just to help you go back to the beginning, help you go back to how you started. And like I said, we're not in a race. This is not something you have to just rush through. It's going to be here on the YouTube for you to do it anytime you want. So all we're doing is having fun and getting things done. Okay, so here we go. An overview of this really pretty shawl. The first thing that you're going to notice and in the title, it's knit, and there's lace on both sides of each front. This is the front of the shawl. I'll pull it down in just a minute, but you can see there's a lace, a mirror image of lace from this side to this side, and the same here. And that's just the part that's going to be fun and intriguing and kind of give you a little something to like, oh man, that's neat. All right, and so now I'm going to pull it down a little bit to get up to the top. This is the one that I was wearing, and then I'm going to be working one in real time. And as you can see, as we get up, this is my shawl that I normally do, where I start at the bottom and I increase up, as you can see. And of course, I'm going to give you a formula and a little schematic to help you memorize, to help you to kind of set it in your mind. But as you can see, as it goes up towards the shoulder, across your shoulders, whatever, then you see how it increases out. And you'll get to choose whether you want to do it a little on the narrow side. Well, this is one size, and then I'm going to be working it another size just by changing one number to make it even wider and grow a little faster. And like I said, this is just a very simple way of doing it. Now, as I come up, we get all the way up working the double lace on each side of each front. All right, then as I come up towards the neck, I decided, you will get to decide if you just continue up and then simply go across the back and then come down in stockinette. Well, I decided as I went up, I did one and I didn't like it. It just looks, I thought, well, Jay, let's put something more into it. So I went ahead and added a beautiful stitch for the back so that you can see a transition right here. If you look real good, you can see there's a line where I transition, and then I went into this back lace stitch, and both stitches are really diamond. They're of a diamond pattern or stitch that I'm going to show you the book that I took this from. Like I said, but this is a very old and common stitch. I just found it in one of the newer books that I had, that I've reviewed. And so naturally I said, well, if I have you to, tell you books or give you an idea of books to buy, then I want you to know how to use those books. I'm not one for just trying to sell you something. I want you to know how to use it. And so I'm going to take it again out of the book and show you exactly how I did it. And as you can see, it goes across. I have a thing about, say for instance, when we come up the front edge, to make it easy, I just count these little scallops. They're like little scallops on here. And I count it, and say if I go up 10, and then I decided that's enough to get up to the top of my shoulders, then I will, once I transition into this stitch, which is also a diamond stitch, but now it technically goes this direction, but we're looking at it going across. Then not only would I do 10 across to match the front, but I always do that one extra. I have that little thing where I put one extra in the back. Then that way I always know where the center back, because you're going to have one extra repeat of the pattern. So if I go up 10, then I know I'm going to do 10 plus 1, so that's 11 for my back. And then, of course, I'll have to transition once I get to this side to come down. And, of course, the going down the hillside is much faster and a lot of fun, and you can see the goal in sight. And see, it just narrows back down to whence we started. And that's the whole thing. Whatever numbers we started with, all you have to do, you don't even have to worry about where you are or anything. Just get down to that number again, and voila, you have a beautiful shawl. So, let me just pull this up here now. It's hard to get all this on the same frame, so I won't even try to. But you can see that you can make it any length you want or the width that you want. and it makes a really pretty Jay's Knit. Let's see, can I get the name right now? Double lace, because there's two different laces. Walkabout, because my mind kind of went off. Shawl. Alright, so now the supplies real quick, like I said, I want to move, and then I'll show you a little secret about this stitch in a minute. Alright, so I suggest right off the bat, my yarn of my choice of yarn for this shawl, and if you have it or can get it, I'm telling you, this knits up beautiful. This is simply Heartland. This is by Lions brand. It's the Heartland, any color you want. Just this color that I use there is this green, and it only took me 2 skeins, all of that, and I had some still left. See, took me 2 good skeins because there is about, I don't know how many yards in here. I'll look in a minute and see. It's only 251 yards, but I had 2 skeins. And this color is the Joshua tree. It's like a dark olive green, very pretty. So that's the color that the green one is worked in. I just pulled out some out of my stash that I just would look pretty. I suggest to use more of a solid tone or something like this, but don't get into variegated or stripes or anything else. It's not going to work out for this particular project. So if you are new, pretty new, and you're still trying to grasp the idea, I'm going to, walk you through one that's not, I have two versions. But you can catch on to this, but try to use a light color if you're rather new, and use, like I said, I suggest this Heartland yarn, or maybe something like that has a nice silky finish to it, Red Heart Soft. Just Red Heart Soft. And you'll need a couple of skeins of this too, because there's a lot of yardage in here too. There's 256, so yes, 2 nice skeins. Good way to, this is a stash buster, good way to use yarn. Alright, and I will be working one in real time. Here's the other one in Heartland. This is Heartland Tweed. I just saw this. I've got so much of the Heartland, and I always buy a lot of skeins at one time. But I'm going to try the one that I'm working in real time, and so far it looks really good. I wasn't sure. I didn't want anything to detract. Do not get anything real busy. Try to stay on a more solid, or like I said, this little tweed or something, but don't get into variegated or stripes or anything. It's not going to, it's too distracting. And if you make a mistake, you'll never figure out where you are. There's going to be a lot going on the pattern, but it is simple enough that you can handle it. Okay, and the needle, we will be using a US number 8. You will need a US number 8. See, can I get the glare off that? US number 8, and this is a 36-inch circular needle. I don't know why all of a sudden I got a shadow. Okay, but you can, any brand you want. I just have a lot of clover, so that's what I use. But, or, whatever you want. Alright, and then last but not least, for my seasoned knitters, like I said, we're gonna be giving you both laces to work on this one shawl. But I want to show you the end game. I start out at one place, but then I always try to link it up and take you to the next place, because that's how I taught myself how to knit sweaters and garments. I'd start out with maybe a scarf. And then, I didn't care that if it was the same pattern again. Then I tried to well, what if? I'm the what if. I'm the what if lady. That's probably why I don't write up a lot of patterns, try to sit and just write them. Because I'm always, well, what if? Halfway through the design, well, what if I just do this? Well, then I'd have to redo everything. So, it's just better for me to share on the YouTube in my step-by-step tutorials. Look at this. Now, the reason I said that, I've used this stitch a long time ago, well, first of all, look at the size. Yes, Jay was this small at one time. This is a vest. Now, if you've if you've been with me and you've noticed pictures in my YouTube, on my site, on my channel, and or every once in a while you'll see me holding this sweater up, smiling at my birthday party. Well, I did this sweater about 15, 16 years ago. Same stitch. See, I had it in some book somewhere. I got it. I don't know which one, but you can tell it. I've worn it a lot, and you can see it's worn. But you can see that this. Make sure I'm on camera. It's the same stitch that that I'm getting ready to share. And after I worked it maybe in a scarf or something, then I realized how, once I show you how to do the double lace, how I could put it on the front of a pretty sweater. And just, there you go. And this is what we will go to next. You know, on down, not like the next project, but the next time you see this lace, we will be doing a sweater. And just to show you how old it is, look, something that you know I don't do anymore. Well, I'm not that size. 2x2 ribbing. So you can tell it's old. You can just look and say, oh my gosh, yeah, Jay, that's really old. Oh my gosh, that wouldn't even fit around my neck now. I mean, it wouldn't fit anywhere because it pulls in. So see how it pulls in? You can barely see, you have to pull it out. So I learned how to change and find things that would look more appropriate for my size as I grew. But you can see how old that is. So even though this might be an old design, I'll perk it up and make it new and add the lace. We might even add lace in the back. You know, who knows what I might do. Oh, wouldn't that be cute if I put a little lace across the back? That same lace from that. Okay, well, that means you have to join me and let's do this lace shawl first. Something simple, something you can grasp and not have to worry about such a big piece of fabric as when we get ready to do the sweater. By the time we get ready to do the sweater, you will be ready. All right, so the last but not least, boy, Jay's moving. I'm trying to move so I can get right into knitting. All right, this is a book that I got off Amazon, remember? And I said, well, now if I ever show you books, and we're going to use them. So automatically, I was looking through my book, probably one night, I don't know, listening to music. There's nothing on TV now, folks. It's just gone. So I'm getting like you now. I'm searching out things, movies on the YouTube to watch and stuff. I found some good movie sites. So I've just been trying to. But anyway, as I was looking, I came across that old stitch. I said, now that stitch looks familiar. Then I remembered the pink sweater. Pulled it out. Voila, this is a stitch. In this book, it's on page 246, and they call it double diamond edging. Double diamond edging. Now it doesn't look. The picture's deceiving, it doesn't look, and I can't hold it up real, you know, I'm trying to get as close as I can. But if you have this book, but don't worry, I'm going to be taking you row by row. But that's what it is. If you have the book, and you go, okay, well, Jay, I bought that book off Amazon, and yeah, we're going to use it. Okay, this is the first stitch. Now, I won't give you the second stitch, but it's in the same book. But we're going to just concentrate on this stitch first to do the double lace, and then when we get up to the shoulders, I'm going to have a separate, I'll have to put the video on a separate, because otherwise it's going to run over too long. So here's a book, here's the yarn, here's my needles, I'm ready to go. This is the one I'm working in real time. What could be better than that? Whew. So, oh yeah, okay, I'll do the schematic and all that when we get ready to knit. All right, be back in a minute. Okay, so now I've written up my little schematic and my working formula, because remember, I really don't, since I don't do written patterns, I try to at least give you an information sheet, which I will put up on the screen later. But first I want to show you so that when you see the sheet, you know exactly, you know, what the numbers mean and how we're going to knit. All right, let's see if this is going to show up. If I have this, I hope it's not too light. Let's see if I can. I'll bring it up close and then I'll move it back or whatever. All right, here we go. I've drawn up a little schematic. And as you can see, we have double lace. We have lace on one side. Then we're going to have the center, the section that you increase and eventually will decrease back down to. That's this section here, which is just plain stockinette. Knit on the front, purl on the back. Then the lace section over here. Now what's exciting, or what's going to be different about this lace, see, can I get it? There, go move my hand. Alright, on this schematic I went ahead and I drew, and this will be good for you just to help you to remember. I'm telling you, once we get started. Alright, on this lace, this double diamond lace edging. Now, first of all, let me just say this. This does not work on every lace pattern. Every so often, it's just something I stumbled on 2 years ago. I don't know, out of being lazy and didn't want to try to look for something else. This happens, this is why I use it so many times, because this happens to be one that you can knit front and backwards. You can get a mirror image without having to actually change the pattern or sit there and handwrite it or rewrite it or whatever. So here we go. I'm right-handed, so I'm knitting in this direction. I'm knitting across. On this pattern, this double diamond lace edge out of our book, everything happens, all the magic happens on the wrong side. The pattern is done, the actual lace is actually knitted on the wrong side. So you will be knitting in this direction from the end of the row to the beginning of the row, knitting backwards on this side. Uh-oh, I done lost everybody. Stay with me, give me a chance, give me a chance. Jay always comes through for you, just give me a chance. Okay, so once you see it, you're like, oh yeah. Okay, so we'll be knitting in this direction from the end of the row to the beginning of the row. Then we will do the stockinette section, and then on this side we will start at the beginning of the row, knitting to the end of the row. Hence, you get a double or a mirror image of the same lace. And so I put this little arrow there to help you, and that helped me too when I, I got it down. So now, but if you need some extra help, here's how you write it up. Now, Jay's working formula. All right. This center section is where we add to grow the width of the shawl to whatever width you want. And then eventually you have to come down the other side to make it match. I like odd numbers in a section like this. So I suggest 7 stitches. Or if you or the person's, you already know that you're a much larger size, go ahead and add 9 stitches. Nothing wrong with that. That just means you're going to have a little more width when you start, and it's going to be a little wider as you get towards the shoulders and the back. That's all, just more room. So to write up this formula, here we go. I will have 9 stitches because this pattern is worked over 9 stitches. I forgot to tell you that. But this lace stitch, just one repeat of the lace is worked over 9 stitches. Okay, so I have 9 for this side. See it? 9 for this side. Then you can decide if you're going to do the green one. I had 7 stitches. The one I'm going to do in real time, I'm putting 9 stitches so you can see it grow a little faster. So you can see how it looks. So if you do, so now the formula is easy to write up. Let's see if I'm on camera because I'm trying to use this. Okay, 9, that represents that side of the lace. 7 or 9, whichever. And of course on this side we need another 9. Now if you add up 9, 7, and 9, you're going to get 25 stitches to cast on. Easy peasy. Cast on 25 stitches, knit 2 rows. Wait for me there. On one that's going to be a little wider, the one I'm working in real time, I cast on 9, 9, 9. So I made it easy for myself. I thought 3 times 9, that's 27. So we just made this up, people. So I cast on 27 for the second shawl that I'm working in real time, and I've knit 2 rows. Just knit 2 rows, stop. Now, what do you think of that? Is that something that, like, okay, I think I can see that, Jay. I think I'm on board. All right, so there's a schematic. There's a working formula on this section. Then I will, of course, add all the information on a, my information sheet, and have that on there for the first part. For this, we are about to work the first part of this double lace stitch. Okay, I can't think of anything else, so let me get my yarn, get my needles. Let's get set to work row by row. After you've knit 2 rows, I'll meet you right back. Alright, so let's get started. You were supposed to knit 2 rows, which is down here at the bottom. Of course, now I have to be ahead because I'm working this in real time. I didn't want to just waste it on a little tiny sample. This is such a pretty shawl. I thought I want another one. I don't have to finish it right now, but at least I can go ahead and have most of it done. But you can see I've knit 2 rows. Now, on the pattern, row number 1 is a right side row. Row 1 is a right side row, and you simply knit, and this is the row we will set in our 2 stitch markers. So it's just a very simple knit those, whether you cast on 25 stitches or 27 stitches, depending on how many stitches you put here. You just simply knit. So I am on row number 1, but I think I'm at the top. Yep, I am. I'm gonna let me say this also. As we get ready to start knitting, the increase and the decrease section will be worked on row 1, row 5, and row 9. Rows 1, 5, and 9. You will increase in those rows till we get to the shoulders. There's no increasing or decreasing across the back. Once you get to the decrease side, then you use those same numbers, same rows 1, 5, and 9 to decrease. So you'll just make a note of that and have it so that you'll know exactly where you are. Alright, so I'm up here. I'm ahead of you, of course. Let me see how I am on the camera. Can you see me? Yep. Right. Okay, so on this row, this is just row number 1. And all I'm going to do is just knit across and place markers. You're down here. You're down here at the bottom. You've knit 2 rows. Now you're starting row 1 of the pattern, and it says to knit. So you're just knitting across, and I'm going to knit across, even though I'm way up here on another row of the same pattern, but I'm on row 1, and I will knit the first 9 stitches, and you're going to place a marker, something that you can really see. All right, then for you either have 7 stitches or 9 stitches. You will just knit across those stitches. I have quite a few. Now, since we're just starting and we need to increase on rows 1, 5, and 9, there's no way to increase on this first row 1 when you're down here. You are down here. See if I'm on. Yep. So you have to just simply ignore that on row 1. When you start, you have to start, we'll start our increase when we get to 5. So the first row 1, of course, you can't increase. We're just getting started. So I'm just going to knit across, and the increases I made very simple. You're just going to use a knit into the front and into the back of a stitch, and I'll show you. I'll go ahead and give you a preview because I'm up here and I've got to stay in pattern. All right, so I'm on row 1 up here, you're down there, and I see that I need to increase on this row, so I always knit to 2 stitches before the marker, 1, 2, and in this stitch I will knit into the front and then knit into the back, just like that, and then knit the last stitch. And all the increases are done on this right side row, so once we start the pattern you don't have to worry about figuring out the increases on the lace side. All the increases, decreases will be done on the row front of the shawl in the stockinette section. Easy to remember and easy to see. So for instance, I'm just going to knit on cross because I'm up here finishing up row 1. And now we can talk. At the end of, on the information sheet, I give you the stitch count after you have knitted that particular section. Not before, but after. Since I've already knitted this section, this is row 1, I should have 9 stitches. Let's see. 9 stitches. Let's go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay. On this side, I should have the same 9 stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. All right. So far, is that simple enough? Does it make sense? Now let's start the magic. All right. Row 1, I've just finished. You've just finished at the bottom. Row 1. You've set in 2 markers. You have 9, 9, 9, or 9, 7, 9. All right. Now turn the work. Now I am definitely on. You may not be able to see yours right away because you're so far down. But now I am definitely on the wrong side because I can tell from the stockinette section. But you're welcome to put contrasting yarn. In fact, for still new knitters, I think you really should put a contrasting. Let's see, can I find a piece longer? Here we go. Contrasting yarn, because all the magic will be done on this. All the magic will be done on this side, on the wrong side. So I'm going to just take, should have had this ready, put me a contrasting yarn. So every time I'm on this side, it's a reminder, this is where the laces worked. And if you're a seasoned knitter, you may not need that. You say, oh, I know I'm on the wrong side. But it's still a good thing just to go ahead and do it. Now I know every time I see this yarn, it is time to work a pattern of the lace stitch. All right, like I said, the magic starts on this side, so now watch. Here we go. The pattern or the stitch is on the screen, but of course I can't see it because I'm knitting. So I'm going to use my sheet right quick just so that I can. Okay. So here is row 2. Row 2 is where we're on the wrong side and we will start knitting. I'm right-handed, so I'm always knitting in this direction. So I will start on this end of row 2 for the first lace section. And reading it, even though it's on the screen, I'm going to read it backwards. Knit 1, yarn over. Do it again. See, it's 2 times. Knit 1, yarn over. Knit 2 together. Yarn over. Knit 2 together. End with a knit 3. Reading backwards. Don't switch anything. Just read it and work it just like it's written. Alright, so here we go. This is how it looks in real time. Now I'm going to make sure to see if I need to come on. Since this is a little darker yarn, I'm going to just a little bit. Alright, so here we go. Going backwards, or reading the row backwards. Row 2, wrong side, it says knit 1. So I'm going to knit 1, okay. Yarn over. Now do it again. Knit 1, yarn over. Now knit 2 stitches together, yarn over. Knit the next 2 stitches together, and I will end row 2 with a knit 3. Can you see that? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now for this stockinette section, it's simple. Knit on the front, purl on the back. So I have to bring my yarn in front. I can relax a little bit now, and all I have to do, since I know this is the wrong side, I need to purl over to my next lace section. So you just have a few stitches right now because you're just getting started. But I'm going to purl real quick over. I just want to check real quick, making sure I'm not up too high. I have a tendency to want to be up high. I hope that was... And I'm just purling over. You're already there waiting on me. I could stop the camera, but then I have to line everything back up. Okay, so now I see that I'm coming up to my next lace section, but this time, okay, I'm right-handed and I'm always knitting in this direction, just like this. So when I get here, for this lace section, I'm going to read the pattern and work it just like we would normally knit the row. So row 2 reads again, knit 3. See, I'm going in the right direction now. Knit 3, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1. Now repeat it, yarn over, knit 1. So here we go. So now I'll go knit 3, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together. Now, that little sequence in the parentheses is yarn over, knit 1. Do it again. Yarn over, knit 1. Now, at the end of that row, if you need to check it, I tell you that you should have 10 stitches after you've worked this lace. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's going to come in handy on down the road in case you kind of lose your place. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Does that make sense so far? Alright, so now that reminded me I worked the lace on both sides. I read it to you. When you turn the work, you're on the right side, and all right side rows, just like this, you just simply knit all the stitches, except when you get to row 1, 5, or 9, you have to do an increase. The increase is made. You'll stop 2 stitches before this marker, 2 stitches right there, and in this stitch you will knit into the front and the back to increase, just like I shared with you. I'll show you again when we get to another increase row. But so right now, this is row 3, So I'm going to move my little marker, and you're going to need some way to mark it, or a row counter or something to help yourself keep up with it. Or this is row 3, so I will simply knit across all the stitches, and I will see you back at row 4. Alright, so now I'm at row 4. And I know that I need to put my lace stitches in because I have it marked with this contrasting yarn. Okay, row 4. Check my camera again. Alright. Let's read row 4, starting on the end of the row, reading towards the front. It says, knit 1, yarn over, knit 3. Now there's a sequence of yarn over, knit 2 together, do it again, yarn over, knit 2 together, and end with a knit 2, working the first part of the lace on this side, working it backwards. Okay, now for row 4, make sure I move my marker here so I can keep up with my rows. Alright, let's go. Knit 1, yarn over, knit 3, take your time, 1, 2, and 3. Now the sequence, yarn over, knit 2 together. Do it again, yarn over, knit 2 stitches together. Okay, and then you'll end by knitting the last 2. 1, 2. I always breathe a sigh of relief. Now, I know on the wrong side, I just purl across to the next lace section. So yarn in front and simply purl. So let's see if I can, how quick I can get over there. Of course, you're still at the bottom, so you're still, you know, you don't have quite as many stitches as I do yet, but same steps. Oh, I can just feel the sun is shining and the rain is just lightly drizzling. Isn't that pretty, when the sun is shining? But I'm telling you, that means the steam is rising off the earth. I'm going to have to turn my little fan on. I'm sorry. It'd just be a little noise. I'll tell him to check the noise level. Oh, I could feel it. Thank you. I'll just have him have to check the noise level. Alright, so I hope I'm in camera. I'm just purling across to get to my next lace section when you're on the wrong side. So there's nothing to worry about. Let me get a little more yarn. Alright, so here I come up to the next section. Now, on this side, we're going to read the row as we would normally work the row. Read it. We're still on row 4, so don't move your marker. Row 4 now reads in the right direction, knit 2, knit 2 together, yarn over. Do it again. Knit 2 together, yarn over. Knit 3, yarn over, and end with a knit 1. So now I'm just doing my regular knit 2. Now knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, do it again, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 3, 1, 2, and 3, and to end, yarn over, oops, and knit 1. So at the end of this row you should have 11 stitches. You don't have to count, but I'm just showing you how in case you need to check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 11. And you would have 11 on this side to match. After all, they are double lace. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 11. All right, so that is row 4. When you turn the work, you are, of course, on the right side, and this is row 5. And this will be our first increase, or your first increase, because you're still down here at the bottom. Remember, we couldn't increase on row 1, but now we're ready to increase. So you're going to just simply knit all the stitches over to the increase. So I'll just knit all my stitches over to the increase, and I will see you back at the increase. All right, take care not to lose any yarn overs. If you have any mistakes on here, it's because I just drop a yarn over. So take your time right now, the first time around. All right, see you back in just a sec. Okay, so I'm on row 5, and I've knit across because it's the right side. That's the good, something to give you a breather, just to say, oh, okay. Every time you're on the front of the work, you just knit all the stitches. It's only on rows 1, 5, and 9 that you have to remember to increase until you get to the decrease section. So I'm knitting across. Woo. Now, I knit across to 2 stitches before the marker. Just 2 stitches. So I've knit. Now I see I only have 2 stitches left before this marker. In this stitch here, I will simply knit into the front, pivot my needle, and knit into the back of that same stitch. I have just increased. And then this last stitch, I simply knit to keep this nice edge along the lace, just to keep it nice and clean and separated. All right, so, and you may not can see it on this yarn, but stop now and look at your yarn before we go on. You can tell, in case you can't, did I increase? I can't remember. You look on the right side and you can always see it looks like there's a purl bump right there on the one you increased on the right side. So I can look right here, the stitch right before the marker, right here, this stitch, and I can tell that I've made an increase, just if you get lost. All right, so now I'm still on row 5 now, so all I have to do is, and I'm on the right side, anytime I'm on the right side, all I have to do is relax and just knit all the stitches, and be careful not to lose your yarn overs. Sometimes you get rolling and you think, oh, I can just whip through all this. Yeah, right. I'm the one designing, and I kept messing. I kept pulling stuff out. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, so end of row 5. We have knit all the stitches, and since it was row 5, I can go back and check, and I can see that I did make an increase on my work right there. So this is, now remember, I'm doing the one where I add the green one. I only had 7 stitches in here, so it's not going to widen out as fast as this one because I put 9 stitches, and you can see how it's just really growing this direction, not only up but out also. All right, the next row, we're going to turn the work, and, sorry, needle hit. All right, by having the contrasting yarn, I know immediately this is where the magic is going to take place. This is where I'm going, and let's see if I'm on. Okay, I think I'm good. I think I can stay right here. All right, so just as soon as I turn the work, I'm on row 6. And row 6, reading backwards. It'll be on the screen in the right order, but we're going to work it, the first one backwards for this section of the lace. It says, row 6, knit 1, yarn over, knit 5. The next is a sequence, yarn over, knit 2 together, do it again. Yarn over, knit 2 together, end with a knit 1. So, let me just put my needle in. And we're going to knit 1, yarn over, and I want to just check my placement. Can you see it? I hope it's not too much of a shadow. Now I have to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Now, next is a sequence. It says yarn over, knit 2 together. Do it again. Yarn over, knit 2 together. Oops. And end with a knit 1. That's the first part of row 6. Now to get to the second part of row 6, we have to put the yarn in front, slide the marker, and we're just going to purl across. Let's see if I can make it over without having to reset the cameras. It's just so inconvenient, I always have to reset this camera. Okay. I might get off screen a little bit, but I'm trying to get over there. These old cheapy needles, I just use them because it's so hot. I thought my bamboos, that the yarn would stick. And look, I've rubbed all the paint has come off, all the gold color. I've used them so many times. They were just inexpensive, you know, but they work good for my practice. It's just too humid maybe to use the bamboo. Alright, so I'm working quickly, or as quick as I can, over, because all I have to do is purl to get to the next lace section. Don't move your marker. We are still, get some yarn, we're still on row 6. When you see how pretty this lace and how you're working both edges, so when we go to the sweater on down the road, not right away because I've got other projects, but when we put it into a sweater, and you're going to go, oh my gosh, this is great, and you'll be used to it, you'll understand. Alright, I'm up to the next lace section, yarn in back because I need to knit, slide the marker. Now, still on row 6. Row 6 reads, knit 1, knit 2 together, yarn over. Do it again. Knit 2 together, yarn over. Knit 5, yarn over, knit 1. So here we go. Row 6, knit 1, knit 2 together, yarn over. Do it again. Knit 2 together, yarn over. Now knit 5. 1, 2, 3, that's 4 and 5. To end, yarn over and knit the last stitch, knit 1. Guess what? We've just finished row 6. Let me let you look at it before we turn. See if I'm on. We just finished row 6. And I have lace on both sides. Let's just check our count. Just for the fun of it, at the end of the row, you'll see that I've given you the number after you've worked it. So we should have 12. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 on that side. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Just a little way to help check yourself. Or if you get lost, you can always kind of figure out where you are by the number you should have. When I turn the work, I will be on row 7. It's a right side. It is not an increase row or a decrease row or anything like that. So all you have to do is just start over here and just knit all the way across. Nothing to worry about on this one. And I will see you back at row 8. We're knocking it out of the ballpark. So, see you back in just a minute. Alright, so now I'm back. And we are ready to start row 8. Row 8 is the pattern, is the lace side, because I see my little yarn here. And I'm going to read row 8, starting on the back end. Alright. It says knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together, This is a sequence now. Yarn over. Now do it again. Knit 2 together, yarn over, and end with a knit 3. So let's see how this looks. Make sure I'm on, that you can see me. Yep. All right. Let's go. Okay, let me get my... Has this been interesting so far? You can tell right away, let's do knit 2 together. Let's take care of this first. Knit 2 together, yarn over. Knit 2 together again. Now, knit 1. This is row 8. And then you knit 2 together. This is a sequence now. Knit 2 together, yarn over. Oops, dropped my needle. Now do it again. Knit 2 together, and yarn over. Knit 3. So I have 3 stitches left, so just knit those 3 stitches off. It's so humid I can't get the yarn out of my yarn is stuck to my fingers. Okay, now yarn in front. All I have to do on this side is purl to the next lace section. So let me see if I can do it real quick. Let's see. I think I was going to ask you. Or tell you something. See if I can remember it while I'm purling across. This would be really pretty, and it needs to be a lightweight yarn, you know, like a number. This is a number 4, but even on a number 3, I would use an 8 to make it nice and loose. Or you could also, of course, do this in thread, but now you have to adjust the beginning in that increase and decrease section. You have to put enough stitches in there so that you can get it to get the shawl wide enough as you get towards your shoulders. So I haven't done it in thread weight, but there's some people who might take it on themselves to give it a shot, to give it a try. All right, I'm coming up. I got across. Now I'm up to the second lace section right there. I slide my marker. Now we're going to read it as we would normally knit the row. Row 8 says knit 3, yarn over, knit 2 together. Do it again. Yarn over, knit 2 together. Knit 1, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together. All right. I'm going to definitely have to get him to check the sound. I don't know, I should have named this Why the Cicadas Sing. They sing at night, they're singing in the daytime. I can't catch a break, people. So I'll get him to please check it, quiet in the background if he can. Okay, see, I almost lost concentration. All right, here we go. Oops, nope, I did a little something wrong. Let me back out. Okay, so here we go. Now, all right, yarn in back because I need you knit 3, 1, 2, and 3, working row 8. Now, a sequence of yarn over, knit 2 together. Now do it again. Yarn over, knit 2 together. Now, knit 1. Then knit 2 together, yarn over, and knit the last 2 together. So before I turn the work, I lay it out. We have just finished row 8, and at the end of row 8 you should have 11 stitches. We'll just count a little bit just to check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 11. Everything is just right. All right, now of course when we turn the work, we will be on row 9, and it is an increased row, so all you have to do is turn the work and just knit every stitch until we get up to the increase. 2 stitches before the marker, and that's why I'll join you back, and we'll take that up, just to remind you. All right, I've worked up. I am on row 9. I'm on the front of the fabric, and row 9, I just knit across, and I stopped 2 stitches before this marker, before the lace marker. So I'm up to one more. Let me do one more. Now I have 2 stitches before the marker, and into this stitch we increase on rows 1, 5, and 9. I knit into the front, pivot my needle, and then knit into the back of this stitch, and then this last stitch I simply knit that stitch. Now I can slide the marker, and since we're still on row 9, and this is the front, this is the right side, you knit on every right side row. Just knit all the stitches. No sweat. Or maybe a little sweat. So I'm just going to knit across. Just make sure you don't drop any yarn overs, because when we turn the work, we will be on row 10 and ready to work the next lace section. All right. And you still would have 11 stitches, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. All right, so now I will turn the work, and we are ready to work row 10. And I'm going to back out just a little bit to make sure I can get all this on here, because I'm getting close and I don't want to. Okay, this direction. There we go. Now I can pull back in. I didn't know where I was. All right. Row 10. Let's read it. Starting on the back side. Row 10 reads, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 3 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, and end with knit 4. I can't remember if I had problems on this row or not. I probably was so sleepy. Oh, who knows? So here we go. All right, let's go together. Row 10, knit 2 together. I just did. Yarn over. It was hard to get these 3 stitches. I had to really. Now knit 3 stitches together. Take your time. Oops, I'm going to have to go back in. I couldn't get it the first time, so I have to try it again. Don't forget, see I dropped that yarn over. I had to remember to go back and pick it up. Let's see, can I get it? Alright, let's try. Oh my gosh. I don't know which is more sweaty than these or my hands. Okay, got it. Now, yarn over again. Take your time. Knit 2 together. Now, yarn over once more. And you should have 4 stitches left. Knit those 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, now, of course, on this wrong side, we just purl over to the next section. So let's see how quick I can purl over. Oh, we'll listen to the sound of nature. Knitting to the sounds of nature. And it's free. Well, he's taking a break. We'll now hear the birds. Alright, I'm purling across. We are on row 10. We're almost there, people. Well, what did you think so far? Of course, like I said, you're still pretty much at the bottom, and once I get to a place of rest, then I can tell you go back to the original shawl so I can share with you what I did. So I'm just purling across to the next lace section. Okay, I see the marker coming up. Alright, so I need to put my yarn in back, slide the marker. Now we're going to read row 10 and work it as we would normally work it. Knit 4, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 3 together, yarn over, knit 2 together. Yes, this one I think maybe could have been a little confusing because of all the yarn overs. But I start with a knit 4, so let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, now yarn over, knit 2 together. Okay, yarn over, knit 3 together. I can barely get in here. Man, these stitches got really tight. Let's see, can I get it the first time? If I can just, alright. There we go. That's knit 3 together right there. Okay, now one more yarn over and knit the last 2 together. Alright, lay it down. We have just completed the double lace on row 10. Lace on both sections on row 10. Alright, the next row, of course, is row 11, and it's not an increase row, so we simply, once I turn the work, row 11, we will just knit across all the stitches. Don't have to worry about an increase. I will see you back at row 12. We made it to the last row. Alright, back in just a minute. Alright, we are ready for the last row. I finished row 11, which was just a plain knit row. There was no increase. So now I am on row 12. And of course, row 12, you can see by my mark, it is a row we've got to do the lace on. It's a pattern row. Get enough yarn so that I can make it all the way across. Alright, first of all, let's read row 12 starting on the back end. Simply knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 3 together, yarn over, knit 5. So we'll just go. We start with the knit 2 together, okay, yarn over, now knit 3 together. Here we go again. I've got to see if I can get this. There we go. After the knit 3 together, yarn over again. Now you should have 5 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knit those 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That is row 12. I should have 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Alright, now move the yarn in front, slide the marker. Now I need to just purl across to get to the opposite lace end. So I'll purl real quick. Here we go. This is a nice one to, as long as you can keep track of what row you're on. And remember my little masking tape trick. If you start this and Or, you know, after you do the first one and then the second one comes a lot easier. This first one is going to take your time and you may lose your concentration or whatever. But if you put it down or decide to do another one, just do the little masking tape trick. Whatever row or whatever information you need to get you back, to make sure you're in the right place, put it on the masking tape and stick it here on the wrong side. And that, not duct tape, but masking tape. And even if you kind of not sure if you lose your place on the written paper. But I'm telling you, this is going to be a really nice shawl to have fun making. Alright, so I'm up to my marker. I'm still on the last row, row 12. Don't move anything. Put your yarn in back, slide the marker. Now let's read row 12 as we would normally knit it. It says knit 5, yarn over, knit 3 together, yarn over, knit 2 together. Okay, let's go. We've come this far. We may as well make it to the end. So knit 5, 1, 2, that's 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over, knit 3 together, not 2, but 3 together. Oh, I gotta get under there. Oh, me. That's probably how I wore all the paint off the... See, can I get it? Okay, I got it. Yay. All right, knit the 3 together. Now, yarn over and knit the last 2 right there. Knit those 2 together. Just like that. Okay. Voila! So, we can just, you should wind up, let's see, let me see, just 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. That's what we started with, so we're back at 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Remember when we cast on, we had 9 stitches in each lace section. So now when I turn the work, of course, I'm back at row 1. Or you're back at row 1. You're still down here making head waves. But now we're going to talk a minute, because the rest of it is just going to be repeating these 12 rows till you get to a point to what you feel like has come up to your shoulders. And all you have to do is keep working. And we'll back out a little bit, make sure I can get this all in. Okay, what you want to do is to continue to work and then hold it up to your body. And I counted these little scallops. Make it easy, don't try to work the inches, just count the scallops. And for my original, the green one, I went up 10. And that's really too long for me. I keep forgetting that I'm shrinking. I just don't need 10 anymore. So on this one, I'm only going to do 8. But now you can decide. You know, you might like them long hanging in front, but I'm short that, you know, that's just a little too long in the front for me. So you're going to count these scallops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got one more repeat to do, and you would decide on how far up. Now, the thing of it is, when you decide and you're working and you get to the last repeat, like my last repeat is coming up, when you get to row 12, do not work row 12. Stop. Finish row 11. However many of these repeats you need up to your shoulders, work them all. Work all the rows back and forth. And then when you get to row 11, work row 11. That's a knit row. And then turn the work. You'll be on row 12. Make a note or put a piece of tape or something. Just remember, stop on row 12 so we can join back together, because that's where I want you to get ready to make the separation as we go into the back. We have increased, or you've increased, or you will increase all the way up to your shoulders. But once we hit the shoulders, then we will stop the increase. Work. If I work 8 up, 8 of these scallops up on my front edge, then I know that I'm going to work at least 8 across my back plus 1 extra, because I like to know where the center is. But there's no increase or anything. And then we have to add the new lace pattern number 2. This is number 1. Once we add number 2 to work in the center, and I'm going to show you how to make the formula for that, you will be working 2 patterns simultaneously. You will be working the lace pattern number 1 on each edge, and then you're going to work a different pattern here in the center, and I'll show you. It's out of the same book. So that's a mouthful, that's a lot, but just right now all you're concerned about is to get each row right and get the right number. Don't forget to do your increases, rows 1, 5, and 9. When you get up to row 11, finish row 11 up at the shoulder, whatever, as far as you want to go. Stop on row 12. Do not work it so that I can join back with you to show you, so we can start the transition of the back. Now, that's the part I'm going to put on a separate tape so that we can get this up. As you see, I'm really pulling it close right here to August. I'm just, like I said, my walkabout cost me a lot. But like I said, hey, we're not up against, we don't have to answer to anybody about it. We're just taking our time. I'd rather do that, take a walkabout and bring you a good project than to bring you something that I was thinking about just to put something up. I'm just not that I'm just not that person, okay? So you just take your time. I will see you back. It won't be but a few days between you get the next video. So you're going to have plenty of time, so there's no rush, no killing yourself. Because I'd rather for you to take your time and do it just right. Then, like I say, on the next tape, I'll give you the new lace. Then we'll combine lace number 1, pattern number 1, these two, plus the lace that will go in the center. And you'll have a new formula for that lace. Oh, okay. Like I said, a mouthful. I've repeated it. So, all I can say is, happy knitting. I hope you like. This is Jay's Knit, a double lace walkabout shawl. Just for you. Take care and do part 1. It's on your needles. See you back in a few.